So India announced that they want to make every single car sold in their country by 2030 to be electric. This is fantastic in terms of a country realizing what they need to do to help prevent global warming. Now, it's very simple in terms of why India is doing this, because they have, so there was a study by Greenpeace this year that found as many as 2.3 million deaths occur every year due to air pollution in India. And it has become such a huge problem that has become not only a public health, but also an economic crisis. And they realized they need to do something about this. And India, similar to China, has abject poverty in it, but it's because it's become manufacturing and the call centers and all that stuff. There is somewhat of a growing middle class, and what that does then is you have people that want cars and cell phones and all that other stuff, but because they're third world in some parts and developing for sure, is they haven't had the strict regulation. We started regulating air pollution back in the 70s and 80s in this country. And of course, you've got geniuses like Donald Trump who wants to roll back all the regulation because it's good for jobs, which is preposterous because we could create more jobs. But what this article, it does two things. Well, first, I'll read some of the facts and statistics that come in here and who within the government is in favor of this, which is pretty amazing. And then also the thing that it isn't really saying directly, but if India can do this, you're trying to tell me America can't. The wealthiest country in the history of the world can't do this. If America said it wanted to do something, it would just happen. Kennedy said at the end of the decade, we're going to the moon, and it happened. He'd already been killed. They had killed him and his brother, and it still happened. So it's preposterous. This country, if it really wanted to, it could. And it's another reason why we need real progressive leadership. So I'll read some excerpts from it. Again, it's because they've been having this air pollution thing. It's literally been called airpocalypse. And the move to do this, to get every car to be electric, is intended to lower the cost of importing fuel and lower costs for running vehicles. We're going to introduce electric vehicles in a very big way. Coal and Mines Minister Piyush Goyal said at the Confederation of Indian Industry Annual Session 2017 in New Delhi. The coal guy is saying we need to make this happen, right? Because this bad air is killing our people and hurting productivity and all different kinds of things. And we could put the country to work making electric cars. Comparing the drive to a 2015 initiative in the country to reduce energy bills by promoting LED light bulbs, he told reporters, "We are going to make electric vehicles self-sufficient. The idea is that by 2030, not a single petrol or diesel car should be sold in the country." Wow. Mr. Goyal said the electric car industry would need between 2 and 3 years of government assistance, but added that he expected the production of the vehicles to be driven by demand and not subsidy after that. Right. See, that's the thing that you can do. A government can get behind something and kind of push it, and then push the industry and push the market to say, okay, you guys need to take this over. Just get behind it enough to say, I'll tell you what happened. In America, they passed a law. Every car company, the state of California, I believe, every car company has to have at least one electric vehicle for sale in the state of California. So it pushed car companies then to innovate and come up with amazing cars, with newer electric cars that are cool. Ford has the Ford Fiesta Electra. I've sat in it, and I've at the auto show, and I test drove it. It's their Ford Fiesta hatchback, but now you can get electric version. Kia came up with the Kia Soul EV. Their Kia Soul, which is a very popular car. I test drove that. It was pretty amazing, and they put all this cool technology in it, heated and cooled seats, Bluetooth, screen, syncs with my. It has Apple CarPlay. All this stuff, a sunroof, all this cool stuff, because the government said you need to start making this. So the car companies went, okay, well, we need to make a competitive car that makes money. And that's what the Indian government is saying. Our government could do this. The cost of electric vehicles will start to pay for itself for consumers, he said, according to the International Business Times. We would love to see the electric vehicle industry run on its own, he added, which eventually it would. If everyone needs to pay. And then when more money is going into them and the government is pushing it and saying this has to happen, then more research, because as I've said before, clean energy is a technology, right? So as in all technologies, it gets cheaper, smaller, and faster every 18 to 24 months. So if everyone got behind this and the government said this has to happen, no more gas or diesel cars are going to be sold anymore, then we would just abandon it. And that you'll see, I'm going to do another story about how the oil industry is not making good money. So this is their last stand. Like this is their last hurrah at holding on to petroleum and the petrodollar, because they know this is coming. They know this is coming. And they're not smart enough to let's have an exit strategy. Let's have a slow migration from oil. The oil companies could be taking all of their money and say, all right, we're the oil company. We're going to slowly migrate away from oil. We know there's no long-term value in it. We're going to go to clean energy and we can do this. They all have billions and trillions of dollars. They could do this, but they're all just dumb, fat-headed Trump morons. Rex Tillerson, God, what an idiot. They also said the number of deaths caused by air pollution was only a fraction less than the number of deaths from tobacco use. Adding that 3% of the country's gross domestic product was lost due to levels of toxic smog. 3% of a nation, of 1 billion people that they have, that's big. India's pollution trends have been steadily increasing, with India overtaking China in number of deaths due to outdoor air pollution in 2015, the report said, saying that a robust monitoring system was urgently needed. Delhi was India's most polluted city, the report found, with concentrations of particulate matter 13 times the annual limit set by the World Health Organization. Mr. Goyal said the electric car scheme would first target larger consumer centers where pollution is an all-time high, such as Delhi. And again, I've talked about this numerous times. They refer to China. China has a big air pollution problem. So China in 2015 decided we're going to change this several years ago. So in 2015, they spent $111 billion on clean energy. They have high-speed rail all over that country. It's not going to cure their smog problem overnight, but the Chinese government said they're going to do this. And the Indian government is saying they can do this. America can do this. So as I've said, you guys, this is one of the things when people say we shouldn't have purity tests for the Democrats. The environment is something that bullshit. We should have absolute purity tests for the Democrats. Any Democrat that's wavered even a little bit for fracking or the pipeline, fuck them. The pipeline is already leaked. It's already leaked. And this whole country could just be amazing. There could be wind and solar panels everywhere. We could all be plugging in our electric cars or whatever, hydrogen, whatever it is. They could, the money's in place. They could put a hydrogen infrastructure in place in a year or two. It's ridiculous that we can't do this. So first of all, vote with your dollars. Support clean energy in whatever way that you can. I just pulled... I reported earlier in the year I have an IRA at Wells Fargo that supported the Dakota Access Pipeline, and I was going to pull it out to Beneficial State Bank. Well, Beneficial State Bank is a non-for-profit bank, and they don't have their shit together yet. I'd love to support them, but they didn't have their shit together. So now I found another credit union, so I'm moving my IRA, which isn't a lot of money, from Wells Fargo to a credit union. And I'm moving my business accounts to a different credit union because the credit union that does my IRA doesn't have business accounts. So I'm moving my business accounts there. That's one way. Vote with your dollars. Pull out of the banks that support pipelines and fracking and all that other bullshit and go to a credit union. Credit unions are 10 times better. I'm sure you have several credit union options for your business, whatever, your school that you can go to. Buy clean energy when you can. As I've said, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The minute I have the money to buy a new car, my car currently has 250,000 miles on it, I need a new one, I'm getting some type of alternative fuel. If not electric, hydrogen or something. Last week, as I do just about every week, I had 2 days where I didn't need my car at all and I used my bike and public transportation. Don't give the oil assholes your money, and petition your lawmakers and hold them to the fire on this. Any fake corporate Democrat that's any fake Democrat that's a corporate asshole, I always say that sentence wrong. It's all those things. You know what I mean. Any Democrat that's not in favor of the environment but talks a good game, but then they take oil money or whatever, fuck them, vote them out. Let them know we're not going to stand for this shit. Because we could do what India's doing. We could get it done sooner. We could get it done in 2025 if we wanted to. Very easy. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting a bunch of new Patreon backers. I appreciate. I've put a poll up who you would like to see for president in 2020. That's if you are at the $2 level and up. And if you became a Patreon backer this month, you won't get charged till the 1st of next month, and that's when you'll start getting your rewards. And if you want to suggest articles, you'll have to wait till after you're charged, but that'll happen in a couple weeks. Thank you so much.